What is going on, guys? It's your boy Slick, and today we're going to be talking about something that I haven't talked about in a while. Now, my opinion has changed on this. This is CAS, Close Air Support. And my opinion used to be that, I think it wasn't a problem. Planes are supposed to be powerful. But the issue that's happened now is since I've made that video a while back, everybody's gotten consistently better at CAS. Even the people who didn't know how to do it, who took a while to catch on, can get a couple kills in planes. So what this leaves is everybody pretty much who hops in planes is pretty efficient. And now that the rockets are buffed, or they have been buffed for quite some time, they're super effective at hitting tanks. It's not really that hard. It's not a realistic thing how the rockets handle. In real life, they weren't that accurate either. I mean, the shit that we're dealing with in game is pretty high tech in terms of how well they come off the rails of the aircraft. They go very straight. Back in World War II, that's not how rockets worked. They were not that accurate. So I say this is a problem because I think it is. I think that I have an issue with how many planes have been up in the skies, how many people have been driving to caps and jaying out, and I think something needs to change. But what do we need to change to do it? I'm going to ask you guys that question, so you can comment down below and give me some ideas. And then I'm going to tell you some of my own ideas. Now, a lot of people like to think that when I say stuff like this, it's set in stone. Like that's the only way I think, which isn't true. I like to think of a bunch of different opinions and different ideas and figure out which's the best. I don't think that my ideas are the best. I'm just saying these are the things that I've thought of thus far. I think raising SP cost would be the first idea that we could do. Raising the plane SP cost to where you need at least a kill in a cap, or something like that. Maybe doubling the cost of the plane that it costs, and then after they die, doubling it again. I think a big issue too is some people might not know, but the people who do know, if you take a fighter bomber and then a fighter into your lineup, your fighter costs a little bit more than the fighter bomber, but you can spawn both without having an increased SP because they're different classes of aircraft, which is odd, and I think that shouldn't be. I think if you take out one plane, the next plane spawn should be double whatever it was, because I mean, hell, they're tough. They're tough to fight against. And I made the argument prior that SPAA needs to be more prevalent, but nobody really wants to play AA. I thought about it, and it's fun to play AA every now and then, but I like using it as a last resort. I want to play my tanks, and I've just kind of grown to that assumption recently that I just want to play tanks. I don't want to have to be the guy in an AA, and I don't think anybody else wants to either. And it's a big problem, but that's just how it works. So that was the first thing, was raising plane spawn. The next thing would be, I think in sim, so this is an idea for sim. So that was my idea for RB, is just raising the plane RP. For sim, planes are a big issue too. A lot of people will fly out planes off the bat, and there's a couple events where one side has the better planes because they have all allies versus Germany at one of these 7.0 events. When I say all allies, I mean America, Russia, Britain, and is that it? Wait, are those three? Regardless, they all have really good fighter aircraft for this event. They get like the Wyvern, P-47, and the Germans are stuck with one Bond planes, or planes with 30 mils that can pen the top of tanks. But I mean, they're planes with 30 mils. They don't get ordnance, and the Wyvern gets potentially 8 kills in that event. And again, nobody really wants to play AA. So the thing with that is, I think there needs to be a mandatory AA spawn. Because you can take a plane out, you can take your 2 tank spawns out, and I think you should be able to take an AA out. Because if you spawn in and you die, unfortunately, to a bunch of aircraft, you can spawn in an AA, no questions asked, and have a fair shot to get them back. I think that would be pretty important too. So yeah, I guess that's my ideas. I think those are my ideas. Other than that, I've been having a lot of fun with War Thunder lately. I finally just finished my move. I feel like I've been saying that for a while, but I'm pretty much like here now. I live here now. It's not, I haven't been making trips anymore. I've been making a trip maybe every other day to go see Duke and stuff because he's not up here yet. The first time I brought him in, I made the mistake of bringing Duke into the living room when the other dog was in here, just off the bat, you know, like they didn't meet prior. So my roommate's dog kind of flipped out, so I had to bring Duke back home. And then we had the meet at my house, like outside, and she barked a little bit, but things went way better, and I think that they're gonna get along and it'll be tolerable, which is good. But that's the last thing I have in Kingston, is Duke. I have to go get Duke, and I think that's about it. So if you guys, fucking elf with my desk. Yeah, if you guys have any requests to see me play, I'm pretty open to new things right now. I'm pretty open to play different vehicles and stuff because I've just been really wanting to get content out. It was pretty hard yesterday. Again, I went back to my home to get the last of my shit. I've had so much stuff, and I didn't realize how little stuff I brought to Florida the first time I moved, because I drove down in my car. I have an Audi, if you guys don't know. I'm not bragging. It's like a 2007 A4 Cabrio, so it's really tiny. It's a coupe. And I brought everything I could fit in that car to Florida when I first moved down, which was just clothes, my computer, and maybe like a couple other things. And then throughout the 2 trips that I've made to Florida and back, like living there, just stuff, like I lost all the substance that I had, and now I just have a ton of clothes. I think I have like way too many clothes, and I don't even know what I'm gonna do with them all. But I think we're getting a little bit off topic. I'm going to play some music so you guys can watch the rest of this P47 gameplay. I know it's terrible. Actually, instead, I'm going to play a little bit of the audio from the game. I did record this with OBS. This is probably going to be my last 30 FPS video that you guys see on the channel. I'm going to switch over to it. If anybody thought that I made that video yesterday 10 minutes for ad revenue, you may yeah, I did. Of course. But yeah, I think that's it. I don't want to carry on too long. There's a fan in the background. That's why I had to mute this and use this as post commentary, or else I would have just posted it and said that there was an issue about this. But yeah, I think that's all. Thank you guys for watching. I'm glad. I hope everybody's having a great, what's today, Thursday? I hope everybody's having a great Thursday, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
You're fucking clearing those skies right now.
Can these kids relax, please?
Bitter pill keep throwing you back. Nothing but empty sugar, no high, just crash. Tongue got me numb, I lose the words to tell myself how much you hurt. But bitter pill keep throwing you back.